Want to talk about the inner critic versus your true self. Who's driving your life? Let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning and that voice starts speaking, you know the one. The voice that says, "You're behind. We've got a lot to do. We aren't doing enough. Don't mess this up. You might mess this up." Who is that voice? And more importantly, who put it in the driver's seat of your life? We all have it. The inner critic, the voice of fear, judgment, comparison, shame. In my work, I call these the inner saboteurs. And they aren't random. They are patterns, they're learned behaviors, survival mechanisms. And they were formed to protect us. But here's the truth. What was once protection has now become prison. They say things like, "Don't speak up, you'll sound stupid. If you fail, they'll finally see the real you. Oh, just keep the peace. Don't rock the boat. You're not worthy unless you prove it." They're loud, they're convincing, and they pretend to be us, but they're not. Because beneath the noise, beneath the fear, the judgment, and the performing, there's another voice. It's quieter, wiser, and unshakable. That is your authentic self. I call it your divine self, the part of you that's connected to source, purpose, and infinite possibilities. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't shame, it reminds. It doesn't push, it gently guides you. This voice says, "You are enough. You are here on purpose. You don't need to hustle for your worth. You're safe to be seen." Brene Brown teaches us that shame loves secrecy. It grows in silence, and so do your saboteurs. That's why awareness is the first act of courage. The moment you can name the voice, you begin to take away its power. So I want to invite you to ask, who's really driving right now? Because it's because if fear is holding the wheel, then your truth is locked in the trunk. Let's name a few of these saboteurs. The perfectionist says, "You can't rest until it's flawless." The avoider says, "Let's not feel this. Numb out or do something to make yourself feel good and forget about it." The controller says, "If I don't manage everything, I'll lose everything, and I don't trust them to do it correctly." The achiever says, "Your value depends on what you accomplish." The doubter says, "You're not qualified. They're going to find out that you're an imposter." These voices might sound personal, but actually, they're universal. They're conditioned, they're cultural, generational, but they are not your truth. Here's something most people never hear in leadership or self help spaces: your soul doesn't yell, your soul doesn't rush, your soul doesn't panic. If the voice in your head is frantic, shaming, or divisive, it's not your soul. That's your conditioning. That's your saboteur. So, how do you shift? How do you reclaim the driver's seat from these fear based patterns? Let me offer three simple, powerful steps. One, name the voice. Start by identifying which saboteur is speaking. Call it out like a character. Oh, this is the perfectionist. That was the avoider. Oh, this is the doubter who thinks I can't get it done. When you name it, you'll separate it from you, and that gap creates power for you. You go from being it to observing it. Pause and breathe. Number two, saboteurs thrive on urgency. They want you to be reactive, not reflective and creative. So pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what would my authentic self say in this moment? It might say, it's safe, slow down. You're still worthy, even if this flops. Let's speak honestly, even if it's messy. Number three, choose again. Make a different choice. Once you hear your divine self, follow it. Make one small choice from truth, not from fear. Send the email, set the boundary, say no without guilt, say yes without having to prove it. This is how you rewire your life, one brave choice at a time. You're not broken and you are not behind. You're not too much and you're not too little or not enough. You've just been listening to the wrong driver. And today, right now, you get to change that. So here's the invitation. Every time you hear the critic, pause and remember who you are authentically. You are not your trauma. You're not your past, and you're not your fears or failures or doubts. You are divine, you are guided, and you are safe to come home to your authentic self. It's safe to choose differently this time because the world doesn't need more people pretending to be perfect. It needs more people who are willing to be authentic, willing to lead from truth, not fear, willing to say, I know who's driving now. And that makes all the difference. I'm Bill Heinrich with True Life Purpose Now. If you'd like to learn more about this, talk about this further, find out how you can learn more about being your authentic self, go to speaktobill.com and get on my calendar and let's have a conversation.